So I'm here with Sean Corcoran, and we have several big reveals that we are incredibly excited to share with everyone today. Sean, how are you?
Little bit excited now this morning, Rebecca. To be honest, it's been a long time coming. It's. I mean, it's not that long. I mean, we have been working on it for what 4, 5, 6 weeks of like chaotic back and forth emails in terms of dealing with the electronic artists and so on. But we've got some big news.
We do have some big news. So, what one do we start with? Because we literally
Oh,
have so many of them, and it's going to be such a mind blowing surprise for everyone at home. And I'm so delighted to be part of the project, as are you, and as is everyone else that seems to be part of the project now. So, what do we start with? Do we start with the name reveal? Do we start with talking about how many people are involved in what we're doing? Do we start with when we're launching it? What do we do?
I suppose. To be honest, like it is an unnamed project up to now in terms of combining the sand art with the electronic music. As you described it yourself, a visual. What did you have? You had a phrase on it.
A visual artscape.
Oh, collaborative visual artscape.
A collaborative visual
A
artscape.
visual artscape. Well, the collaborative visual artscape, the unnamed collaborative visual artscape, as it stands. I suppose if we gave people an overview of what it really is, Rebecca and I have been collaborating to try and put this idea together over the last 5 or 6 weeks. What is it going to be, Rebecca?
So it's going to be Sean's incredible art in a new dimensional format, allowing electronic artists to put music to his incredible videos. So each and every single video will have a song that has been handpicked by us and trusted to us by incredible artists in a matter of having a visual artscape that has electronic music to go along with it.
And our target is 12 tracks. So we don't have any set plan as to what it's going to become. If it's going to be if all the videos are going to be put together as a documentary, perhaps, or which with accompanying interviews with each of the artists, or whether it's going to be an album. I'm sure it's going to be on Spotify. It's going to be on all these different platforms that the artists want to include as well. So it's kind of exciting. We haven't got a big spreadsheet that says all the answers. So it's kind of like a work in progress, and it's very exciting. So I suppose today we have some news.
So I like to call this a developmental project. It's kind of growing very organically itself. It's doing its own thing, and I'm really trusting the process, which is not easy for someone like me. Like, obviously I'm quite creative, but my form of creativity is there to harness artists to make sure that there's a direction that they can go in that works with. So having to relinquish that sense of control in order to trust a project is going completely on plan is quite challenging, but very exciting. And yes, we have much news today. So Sean, do you want to name the unnamed project?
Well, me and you, as we were brainstorming over the last few weeks, we were very casual, I think, about the idea of, well, what is the unnamed collaborative artscape, visual artscape going to be called? And so I think we back and forth, we came up to these 2 words, or there can be 3 if you want them to be, depending on what way you think it sounds. So drum roll, perhaps.
Drum roll, please. Go on.
You go for it, Rebecca. You go for it.
Okay. We are naming the as of yet unnamed project Supersonic Sand. And
Hey,
with
Supersonic
that,
Sand. Yeah, yeah.
there we go. So here we are presenting Supersonic Sand. There's a banner at the top that's giving you a little glimpse.
Right across there.
I know. Projecting values through the roof.
Magic.
Giving
Magic.
you a glimpse at the
Oh my
first
God.
featured artist, which is going to be on this collaborative project. So you have his name up in lights, and you have a sneak preview of what the first track is called and the video that is upcoming, because we're finding ourselves in a situation where we are well and truly ready to show you the first one.
I think so. And the Supersonic Sand as well. Like, we kind of like had a chat with one of the artists who's on it there earlier. Might even be a guest here shortly. But it's got a kind of a flashback. It's got a kind of a retro feel to it. The Funk Soul Brothers giving that supersonic sound out there. And I suppose that is really to reflect the nature of how we intend to connect the sand through a very fast animation of video. So we are going to be reaching out to perhaps guest video editors along the way as well, that we're going to try and animate, because I have out in the garden right now, the sun is shining thankfully here on the Copper Coast, but I have Giraffe number 4 ready to be assembled. And his neck is actually in the kitchen, but his legs are out in the garden and his body is over there. I can see it from here. So the idea with the giraffe is it's basically my pet giraffe. No, it's basically a giant tripod, and the project is being filmed from the very, very, very top. It's about 23 feet, hopefully. Number 4. It's been filmed from the very, very top of this giant tripod, looking down on the beach in a fixed position from a GoPro camera, basically. And what that gives is every 2 seconds, an image is captured. So when the videos are created, it's a time lapse. So when the videos are created, the footage will be sped up really, really fast for the duration of the track, which means that it's very much, you will see the movement and animation of the figure or figures, it could be more than one person, moving very rapidly around, creating a visual in time and in beat with the electronic music artists. So sorry for waffling on there, Becca.
You didn't waffle on. We're both pretty excited, and I think it's because this project is so cutting edge. It's so different. So obviously in the past you have made videos using music, but the idea that there's actually a team of people out there right now sending us tracks that they are then going to launch at the same time as our project, which is giving this completely brand new idea. Like I love the impermanence of your art. This is the thing that always stuck out to me. It's I love that you go out there and you paint on, or you draw on a beach, and you actually don't care if anyone else sees it, and you absolutely know that it's not going to be there forever, and you're still like giving it socks and enjoying that moment of absolute flow. And what we're doing here is we're using a permanent art form, which is music, which transports us in a different way, similar to the flow state that you need to get into to actually draw those. And we're merging it with immortalized versions of your artscapes. And I think that's what really like makes this project so special to me personally. So it's so exciting to watch the videos being edited and to get the sneak peeks of all the tracks. There's a few tracks in there, I literally haven't stopped listening to them since they were sent in. We have obviously a total of 12 collaborators, and we're going to cap it at that. And it's just been so exciting to watch all the incredible tracks being sent in and the different reasons for them, and they all sound different. They're just, each sand art piece that you make is so different to the last. Some of them are long, some of them are short. It's such a cool thing to be part of.
Well, and I think as you've described there, it is exactly that. It is experimental, because like most of my work up to now would have been represented with more kind of like earthy, spiritual kind of world music, shall we say, or whatever, because the way it's filmed would kind of reflect the nature of the art form. But now I'm kind of like, I've been on the sand for 10 years now. My 10-year anniversary was recently revealed in a retrospective, and I'm kind of like, I'm ready to kind of like go beyond and kind of experiment into work that's never, well, I've certainly never seen it, what we're attempting here in terms of connecting electronic music with the sand art. So it is very exciting. It's like a kind of a journey into the unknown. But I do know for now, like with the work that you've been doing with some of the artists, Rebecca, many of which are Irish. Like I know the work that you've done over the last few years with Viking Promotions in terms of like really promoting some of our homegrown amazing talent that go elsewhere, go beyond, and I'm sure they will again once this whole situation is over. But we have artists as far as Los Angeles and closer to home, even Norway, I believe.
We do. We have international artists as part of this project. So that as well was difficult for me to relinquish strength to, because I was like, I want to just push the Irish music industry for the rest of my days. But then I was like, look, I'm pushing the Irish coast, and I'm understanding that sometimes local is actually global. And we have such beautiful, beautiful songs being sent in. It's very hard for me to go, you're not Irish. You know, like, so yes, we do actually have artist as far as Los Angeles, and we have one a bit closer to home. So I think the time has come for us to introduce our first collaborative artist. So his name is Nerulis, and he is currently on the coast of Norway. Good evening, how are you?
Hello from Norway.
So, Nerulis, I obviously met you through Sean. You were the first artist that we have on this project, which is amazing. And we were about to launch your video, which obviously we've all had the advanced preview of, and I am so excited to present to the world Hoisin Island. So you're in Norway, but I believe that you have quite a strong connection to Ireland, which is one of the reasons that we are here. You know, everyone loves Ireland, right?
Of course. I have very strong connections to Ireland. I was born in London, but I grew up in London. But half my family is from Ireland, so it's like a second home since I was like this small. But like, we go maybe 2-3 times a year over to Ireland to see family. So it's I don't know. I consider myself from London, but if someone asked me what I considered myself, I would say I'm Irish. But it's I'd never say English.
Yeah, it's, you know.
No offense,
no, you know.
No offense at all. London, yeah, but England, I don't think so.
Fair. So obviously your song is Hoisin Island, and you reached out and we loved your track, and we're so excited for everyone to find it. So your name is Nerulis as an artist, and you are based indeed in Norway. So do you want to talk to us about your track creation? Where did the idea for Hoisin Island come from? What was the creative process surrounding that beautiful sound?
The track was actually produced in Ireland, when I was living in Limerick. I just finished art college in Kilkenny. I was living in Limerick and working in a bar and also writing music at home. And we found a flat. It was like really cheap, but it was due for demolition. So I mean, it's at the back of an old shop. So you literally walk in through the back, and there'd be like it was so bad, there was like orange mushrooms growing on the carpet. And the sort of
orange mushrooms, Rebecca. Orange mushrooms.
on the carpet.
Ireland's a bit damp, lads. Do you know? There'd be orange mushrooms in most houses.
Yeah. This bedroom we were sleeping in, I think we slept in for 2 weeks, and then we had to seal it off because this black stuff was just growing everywhere on the walls. But
You'd be having some fun dreams at that house, like.
Yeah, always. I think that's maybe part of the inspiration for the track. But the studio at the time was in the shop at the front, and it was like, I don't know, this door opened from the sitting room into the shop, and it was like a really old school Irish shop that had been closed for years, but all the stuff was still lying around, like on the counter and the till, and like some of the products, and there's Jacob's biscuits, old stands for the biscuits. And so I had my computer in there and I was making my tracks in there. At the time I was working on an album called Near Far, and it was about I was dealing with this being close to someone but feeling really distant. So it was this that was the theme of the album, and Hoisin was one of the tracks on it. So I guess that's kind of. Oh, and I was eating a lot of Chinese food at the time, and these Chinese dumplings, and this. I got this new steamer for dumplings. I was using that, and using noodles with hoisin sauce and stuff. So it was like I think it's shown before. It was like a working title. It's kind of, it just stuck like the sauce.
Like the sauce, it was a little bit sticky and flavoursome. Yeah. I love it. That's an incredible story, and I think now that I know the full story and that I hear that the song is about being disconnected while being close to someone, and sometimes just feeling like
maybe it's just this connection thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So is there ever a better moment in time to launch a track called Hoisin that talks about a topic that all of us are struggling with right now in collaboration with an incredible sand artist? Like, pew. Do you know? It's just wonderful to have you as one of the collaborators on board, and
it's wonderful to be involved. It's really exciting.
So, guys, this is Nerulis. You will find him on www.nerulis, and he is our first collaborator. We are going to launch his video this weekend. So, our big news is we're launching Supersonic Sand this weekend, guys.
With Nerulis. The first track.
Supersonic.
With an amazing track as well.
It's so beautiful.
It's a nice way, as you said, Rebecca, like what David is saying there about like the near far thing. I think, as you said, like working with David over the last 3 or 4 weeks on this, well, 4 or 5 weeks perhaps. We've been back and forth with swapping tracks and duration, and he was sharing the story and like digging up some of it. Like, I mean, you made that back in, was it 2006 or something, David? I mean, it's not.
Yeah, 2005, 2006, I think. Yeah.
So, like, I mean, all your softwares and machinery, hardware and software, I'm sure is different by now. I mean, it's kind of like you had to revisit those memories and times as well of being an artist.
I think the one I made it on, they used to put in a handle and wind it up to start it. I think it was quite an old one. Yeah.
So old.
I know. Wow. So look, it like in terms of a collaboration, Rebecca, like it really has been a genuine collaboration. Like even the title that we're going with is a mixture, like the Hoisin and like the actual sand art that Joe, my friend Joe, and I created right out on the shore in Kilmurrin. It's only a really tiny space, so it's got a kind of a resonance, I suppose, with the kind of like confinement of like emotions in terms of what's relayed in the track. So I think it, like when we were working on the track, I knew that this piece of sand art, like I've got 6 or 7 pieces of sand art that have been recorded now that I'm working with different artists on it. But I knew that when this piece, when you sent me the final of this, it had to just sit. It does knit together. It's a very nice, neat piece, a simple little piece. So delighted. Great to have you on board.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have you on board. And anyone who's paying attention, we actually have a sneak preview of the art in question as the backdrop to the interview itself. So, do you know, it's been nice. I kind of made it a bit acidy because we're going on a trip, lads. And this
with
is
orange mushrooms.
Yeah, orange mushrooms.
See, it all ties together. So yeah, being able to use Hoisin and putting it into a track and calling it Hoisin Island, and all of us being able to collaborate together to make this piece come to life is just, it's such a huge, massive privilege, guys. And I cannot wait for the entire world to see what we've made and to launch the first one. It's just uber exciting.
So watch this space this weekend.
This weekend, Hoisin Island, Nerulis is the first artist, and we're buzzing. Guys, is there anything?
Am I about to send a shout out to my cousin?
Yes, I was about to say, do you want to shout out to anyone? Do you want to add anything before I stop recording?
Are they in Ireland?
They are. They're in Waterford. But just to my cousin Gary.
Okay.
He's the one that actually sent me the link to your
nice one.
to your Facebook. Yeah.
Gary, whoever you are, you're a legend. Thank you for sending us. Oh, I know Gary really well.
Yeah.
He's actually a legend.
No way.
Yeah.
He's my first cousin.
Amazing. I'm madly in love with Gary, so that's amazing.
That's small world.
Tiny. Let's stop recording. See you this weekend, guys, for the first launch.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, guys.
Well done.
Look forward to it.